Welcome to Master's Formula. This is your complete real estate business success system. Listen, congratulations on your commitment to learning and growth. So, let's go ahead and rock. I want to start with what I call the 4 C's to massive, massive success. So the first C stands for commitment. Yeah, you probably heard that before, but I'm always interested in sort of the real estate industry, and I hear a lot of people go, I'm going to give real estate a try. You ever heard that one before? Yeah, well, there's no commitment there. You ever heard a doctor say, I think I'll give it a try? No, we're not going to make it. We're not going to succeed if we're just giving anything a try. See, everything great comes from commitment. You want to get in better shape, requires commitment. You want a great relationship, requires commitment. You want a great business, requires commitment. You want to make a lot of money, requires commitment. And number 2, the second C stands for curiosity. You know, my dad, he taught me many, many, many lessons, but I'll never forget, my dad would always say to me, Rich, live your life in a state of curiosity. He said, see, curiosity is a state of growth. You know, judgment is a state of stall. And what he meant by that was when I was being judgmental, I was thinking to myself, oh, they don't understand. Oh, that'll never work. And I hear this all the time from people that I teach, right? They go, oh, you don't understand. That wouldn't work in my market. I go, yes, it would. Wouldn't work for you because you're not going to do it, but it would work in my market. Oh, that's not the way I do business, right? And isn't it sometimes funny how we get a little judgmental and we shut ourselves down, right? Like they say our minds are sort of like parachutes, you know, they only actually work when they're what? When they're open. But more curious, you know, we're thinking, boy, how can I figure out a better way? Or what a great idea. How could I make that work in my market? We just position it differently, right? And isn't it funny how our minds will be open to a great idea or closed to a great idea? Do you see what I'm saying? And then the third C is called courage. So think about, if we make a commitment to something, then what happens is we got to be really curious because we have to learn a better way to do it. We got to say, well, if I want to go from here to here, and I've never been here before, that means that I'm challenging the status quo. I got to figure out something new because see, everything that I've learned so far has gotten me here. But the question is, what do I need to learn? What skill do I need to develop to get me there, right? So you get really curious and you go out and you try to figure that out. You study top producers. You take courses like this. You go to seminars, whatever the case is. But then the third, it requires courage. See, courage is fear. It's moving even though we're a little bit afraid. See, I always say that life is a dance between self-preservation and self-realization. Now, what is self-preservation? Self-preservation is where we want to keep ourselves comfortable, right? We don't want to be afraid. You know, we stay in our comfort zone, if you will. But self-realization is a whole different thing. Like, what is possible for you? Well, I'm telling you right now, way more. I can guarantee you that because there's more possible for us all. That's self-realization. Like that's making a decision and going, okay, I'm going to go to the next level. If you want to do that, that's totally up to you as well, right? But see, when we start to move towards self-realization, we start to expose ourselves, don't we? We start to have to do some things we've never done before. We start to take some risks that we've never taken before. And we're probably going to be a little bit nervous. You know, I still remember I started real estate 1985, July 15th, Peterborough, Ontario, never forget. When I started selling real estate, the first day, 5 of us all started at the same time. We had to start prospecting on the telephone. The first day, yes, we sat in a room together, all 5 of us. They gave us a phone book, right? Everybody started a different letter, and we absolutely had to start just calling people in the city. They gave us a script. I can still remember to this day dialing numbers and not pushing the last one because I was afraid somebody might answer. I can remember. Right? I was starting to sweat. There was sweat forming on my forehead. And then finally, I got the courage to push that last number. And then it started to ring. And I can remember thinking to myself, please don't answer. Please don't answer, right? I was afraid. And then all of a sudden somebody answers, you know, I go through the script, right? And I started to make more and more and more calls because back then That was the big deal. We called it dialing for dollars. That was a long time ago, right? And then all of a sudden I got really comfortable on the telephone. And then I could call anybody. It didn't matter anymore. See, if you think about courage isn't the absence of fear, right? Courage is moving forward even when we're a little bit scared. And the only way in the world we defeat fear is to face it. And then the fourth C is confidence. But where does confidence come from? Confidence comes from the first three. See, when you're fully committed to something, and then you get really curious and trying to figure out how to produce a better result to whatever you're committed to, and then when you have the courage to go take action, you start to develop what? You develop confidence. And confidence is what almost every really successful person has. You ever notice you see a successful person and they walk with confidence, they talk with confidence, they just look confident. You know, you can put the same clothes on somebody that's not as confident and they won't even look as good. It's the weirdest thing, right? And people buy confidence. Now, I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm not talking about conceit. That's not what I'm talking about. But the thing is, people will buy confidence. If you're confident, they will buy off you because you're confident, but you can't buy confidence. No, you got to earn it. See, buying a new car won't make you confident. Getting a new house won't make you confident. No. Moving to a neighborhood won't make you confident. No. How we become confident is by saying, what am I committed to in my life? What are the few things? I mean, you don't need a lot. What are the 3, 4, 5 things I'm 100% committed to in my life? Then, being unbelievably curious, trying to figure out how you're going to produce those results, right? Search them out. And then what you do is say, okay, got to have the courage. I got to do something a little different. I got to make myself comfortable with being uncomfortable because then I'll overcome my fears. And when I do that on a regular basis, I start to develop confidence. And when I finally have confidence, which just happens over day here, day there, day here, day there, week here, week there, it starts to move forward, then everything in our life starts to change. And all of a sudden, we start to go to new levels that before we never thought were possible.